There we go, the church is done, so now there's less noise pollution, only cars driving by, which is acceptable noise pollution, I guess. Acceptable levels of noise pollution, at least for this format. But for an acting portfolio, that'd be perfectly fine. I guess one could see what I have here, hello, these now going on 130 installments. I guess one can see those as a character portfolio, I don't know. But, that's just how it is. And the end of the day is very inexperienced people on set. That car was significantly quicker than 30 kph. Very inexperienced people on set, whom some of are lacking motivation. And I'm not saying this to put them down or me up, because I have a lot to learn still, even just for lighting. Not to speak of the other departments for which I'm an amateur of the purest level, of the highest level, I guess. But I commonly get the feeling I am the most experienced person in the room, and I don't think I should be. That might be the lowest self-esteem speaking, with not thinking I should be the most experienced person in the room. I mean, I should give myself more credit at times, but also, I mean, the tutor already have their degree. They were in my position 1 year ago. They're just 1 year ahead of me. So, at least they hopefully have more experience than I do, but they certainly aren't given as many tips as I do. And they're the tutor. Their job is to learn, to train them and educate them well and so on. So, to not put on maliciousness, malliance, there we go, I'll have to say they just probably don't have the experience I do, which is kind of sad. Then again, I'm not too surprised, because I have been using my studies for gathering experience, which is the primary purpose of studying, I guess, I've decided I'm running low enough on cigarettes that for now, whenever possible, I'm going to do roll-ups, such as this. Started smoking with the church bells, but they've gone off since, so hey. And they also do taste a lot better. Like, it's just so much better value. I mean, first off, tobacco's horrendous value anyways, because you're spending money to increase your risk of death, of a premature death, and or illness, so meh. But this at least tastes better than active cigarettes do, I guess. Ironically enough, my rolling tobacco is from Luxembourg, so it's also not German taxed, because Germany's bloody expensive. I use Golden Virginia rolling tobacco, and this shit's hella expensive. This costs €11.30 a pouch of 50 gram. When I bought it, I suspect now is over €12 in Luxembourg. In Germany, I believe a pouch of this stuff costs approaching €20. A pouch lasts me a long time, to be fair, but this do taste really rather pleasant. If the CBD end up not working out for whatever reason with blunts and so on, I mean, I ain't smoked a blunt in my life, so I wouldn't know. I'll probably consider joints, CBD joints, that is, hemp joints using this tobacco. Then again, the reason I'd be picking up CBD is not for the CBD's sake, but for not having the tobacco's sake. Which means joints would be counterintuitive. Then again, they do also burn slower, so might be interesting. We'll see, That's all bridges I'll have to cross once I got the money figured out. I'm getting anxiety just thinking about having to phone them and tell them, oi, I'm starting to get to the point where I'm entitled to get some money at least. Just because it's unreasonable for me to live off no money, I mean, yes, I do have a car, and yes, that is extra expense. Hello, this is a car, surprise. But hell, I mean, even if I didn't have a car, I got to pay rent and so on. And with the car, it's my way of getting around, just because I'm disabled. I'm fucking autistic, and I can't deal with the amount of people and the kind of people on public transport. Not all the people, but some of them, and the amount of all of them. So, I guess it is a quality of life improvement, but the alternative would be living a hermit in an urban environment where you are suburban enough to not have any delivery services to do same-day delivery, which would be pretty horrendous. Wow. Then again, the way things are going with finding myself or getting closer to becoming my true self, see yesterday's session for that, the one before this, I suspect in the long term, so at latest decades, I'll end up living a hermit anyway. We'll see, Universe work in mysterious ways, but I am very much so suspicious of that being the case, just because I can't deal with people, and that way I wouldn't have to. It's like a pacifier for adults. Don't smoke. It's not good. Don't do it. I don't know how I feel about that. Not the pacifier, but the becoming a hermit eventually. Because I do have a lot of social connections, and a lot of them I do value, and a lot of them I would not be able to have if I did not live in an urban environment. And I recognise the fact that I am human, and therefore I am a social animal, and I require social interaction and social connections. For mental health's sake, that is. But I'm still split on actually dropping them or reducing them, just because they are a safety net. They are more reasons to not die. To not unalive, for YouTube lingo. Then again, living a hermit, I wouldn't be surprised if I'd end up too busy to worry about unalivement. So, universe work in mysterious ways. And again, this is all long term, because at least in the short to mid term, I'm not in the economic situation to afford such things. Surprise. Outside my window, there's someone photographing a car parked on the other side of the road. I highly suspect it is to report them. I would not know why they might be photographing the trailer, because it's been there for more than 2 weeks. But we'll see, It's their right, and rules exist for reasons. And I'm happy for people to enforce them. For them to be enforced in general. I don't care if people do it or if the government do it. The government's supposed to do it, but if the government don't do their job, the people have to, Because in the end of the day, rules exist because we agree on them. Well, we agreed on them. Yes, it might be more comfortable if you only follow rules when they suit you, but then there's no point in having them, because if everyone only follow them when they suit them, they're guidelines, not rules. I mean, come on. Just realised another thing I did yesterday before I even left my flat, but I kind of was too sleep deprived to appreciate it yesterday, I guess, and I do appreciate it very much so, and even today, is my short socks were starting to run low. Well, not low, but they were riding low on my feet, and I still have a pack of new old stock short socks of my size, and I actually put on one of them yesterday, and I'm wearing the same pair of socks today. Ooh, surprise. And they're really pleasant, they're really well fitting, to the point where they don't even slip into my shoes, which is... But I'm starting to get to that point with a lot of clothing that have elastics in it. Another example would be pants, where I should aspire to replace things. Problem is, I ain't got no spare pants. just because I've gone through my spares and it's starting to get to a time where I'd have to buy new spares, which is once again spending money which I do not have. Funny how that worked, really. Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting that fake bank transfer. Problem is, it won't last for long because I'll have a lot of bills piled up by then, or bills to have. It's not like I order anything and spend money while I can't, but I still have the need for those things. Example, shower soap, tyre for the car, service for the car. That would be primarily the oil change, all that kind of stuff. Kind of need doing for me to sustain my status quo of living, which is improvable to say the least. But all of those things are currently in risk of breaking or being lost, I guess. Not looking forward to that. So I hope they manage to follow through. Just because money make the world go round. It's a silent power with a big sound. Yeah, money don't make it happy, but not having it make life hella harder. And I'll have to cross that bridge soon enough. I mean, what do I got now? 5 months until I got to get a pay slip to pay my rent. Not looking forward to that, but at least I'll have a pay slip to pay rent, you know. Odds are I'll have a job, because I highly suspect the former place of internship cannot afford to not employ me. I'd be too good a deal passed by, even if the heads of companies say, "Oh, we aren't employing him for whatever reason." Whatever company decides to employ me is going to get hella deal because I do good work, which is kind of contradictory to aspiring for mediocrity. I guess I'm aiming to do a good job at a mediocre thing. I don't know. I mean, if you do it right, it's not a mediocre thing really, but I also don't want to aspire to too much because with that comes disappointment, man. It's like an internal conflict I have, you know. Internal conflicts are not great, and I have too many of them, that's for sure. I mean, boiled down to some with which I've made my peace would be things like vegetarianism, or perhaps even veganism. I've made my peace with those. That is one of the benefits of living in a society. If my life depended on it, I could most certainly kill something, and I wouldn't mind having chickens and eating their eggs. Of course, surprise, they're bred to lay too many eggs for their natural needs. But I've made my peace with that because at the end of the day, hell, I didn't construct the society, and all those things were normalised long before I came around. And it's not in the scope of my work as a human to change all those things. Then again, all the vegan people you know will disagree, and they'll tell you about it. Funny how that works. Time is 12:15, so it's been a bit since I started this, I guess. Started with 38 minutes, now I got 15. I did do a couple of breaks in between, but still. I better get going so I'm not late, because though I'm only a student, I expect high things of myself, and I like to be timely and not waste people's time, because that's one thing I don't get any more of. Anyways, I hope you two have enough time. Enough. There we go. English language, hard language. I'll see you around. Stay safe. Cheerio. Here we go. We're all parked up. I ended up not going to the other spots because it would have required to turn around, and there was one 3 spots over that I hadn't realised was here. It's even more so in the shade, so that's going to be a fun one. The thing is, the child in me, out of principle, would like to park next to people like that, so they have to look out how to get out. But I also recognise that in the society, too many people don't care for the rules and would just do a hit and run, and I'd have to sit on the damages. Which means I am, after all, giving them, with their small Toyota or whatever it was, Corolla also, very small one, I'm giving them 2 parking lots because I do not want damages to my car just because other people can't park. If they can't park, what's the odds they'll manage to get out of their parking lot if they are really tight next to me, you know? Next to none. Well, that's yesterday's drink finished, so it's time to crack open a cold one. I got another ginger beer here, freshly out of the fridge, so that's going to be a fun one. I'm looking forward to that. I haven't actually made any progress on my uni assignments, and I think I really ought to. I'm just executive dysfunctioning way too much. And I guess that's why I did the screening yesterday, because that's kind of an executive dysfunction thing. Ooh, I got things to do. I'm not too worried about doing them. Let me look for something else to do. Ooh, this looks like fun. Let me do that. Yay. Spicy. Yeah, so with these uni shooting days, half shooting days, in my eyes they are really low risk, low reward. They're not worth preparing for much. I did ask the director, because I'm going to be the DOP, what camera they want for what angles, but I didn't bring any notes. To be fair, I expect them to have the notes, and if they don't, they'll just have to tell me. Just because they are really low stakes shootings. I mean, shoots, not shootings. Just because at the end of the day, no one's ever going to see what we do. Might end up on some of the talents' portfolios, likely not. Actually, that's not quite true. I think with one of my talents when I was directing, it might end on their portfolio. But yeah, for that, all the technical infrastructure don't matter. You can film on a bloody phone. I mean, come on. For an actor's portfolio, what matter, bloody church, is the acting, which means all the camera, lighting and sound just have to be adequate. They don't even have to be good, you know. I mean, hell, here my lighting is okay, I guess. I got a huge light leak coming in from here. Besides that, it's just soft light. My sound is okay, I guess. My video's okay, I guess. For an acting portfolio, this setting I am doing here, which is intentionally low effort, would suffice 10 out of 10 times, or 99 out of 100 or whatever. But you know, I also know that the producer / director for this week's uni elective shoot are kind of ill prepared, because apparently they only sent a booking request for the technology day before yesterday, maybe the day before that, but not even last week, and they had 2 weeks to prepare. Actually, I'm just going to be back once this church is done. It's fucking annoying. Sorry for that. I guess today will be one of those with multiple segments. Yeah, I'll be back once the church is done. Yeah, so here we go again. Time is 10 to 12 in the AM. Not 12 in the AM, but 10 to 12 in the AM. So 11:50. I'm here near uni. Here for half-day shooting elective. Found really good parking really early on. The only issue is the car parked that way is way out of their bounds in parking. But I did not want to compromise my parking unnecessarily, which means I am parked rather close to them to the point where they'll have to drive out forward. But their poor parking does not constitute an emergency for me, and I'm not going to give a small car 2 parking lots. So here I'm parked, I guess. Time outside is 22 degrees decibel. No, temperature outside is 22 degrees centigrade. I awoke multiple times. I slept polyphasically. Final time awaking was about 7, 8 in the AM. I did actually manage to go to sleep yesterday quite early, not as early as I'd hoped. I was in fact in bed at 8 PM, but I only managed to sleep by 10. Don't remember 2200 rolling around, so I was asleep by then. I slept through until 4 in the AM, and I spent an hour awake, just lying there, and then I went back to sleep. It's not the historical use of polyphasic sleep. I ain't got up and done something in between, but it was still 2 full-on sleeping sessions, I guess. That worked out rather well. I quite like sleeping, you know. Surprise. Why am I here talking? Well, I'm talking to myself here right now because I still got 38 minutes remaining before I need to be 1 block foot distance, not even 5 minutes that way. I'm not going to be able to park there, so I'm parked here. 1 block foot distance is at the point where I don't make an effort to look for extra parking. I'll just take the first best that come that don't require turning around. So here I'm parked. Drink of today is the remnants of yesterday's Spezi, because surprise, I didn't manage to drink all that. And I only realised earlier, on my way here, drinking this while driving, though it's a soda, it come in a brown glass bottle and it's made by a brand that is known for their beer, is much like smoking hemp, I guess, while driving. You just ask them to be pulled over because if they see a brown bottle, they'll think it's dodgy. Then again, I'm above board and completely legal, so I wouldn't mind them pulling me over and asking me to blow. So I guess I would. Phew. It's bloody humid. It's unpleasant temperatures. Well, 22 degrees centigrade, but still feel warm. Driving here, I only listened to 1 album that I just randomly decided to download yesterday. I have not formally heard anything of the artists, and I do not know how to pronounce them. But it's kind of chill, not quite mumble rap, Russian that is, and is alright to listen to, I guess. I only just realised there's a parking lot across the way, and I might actually end up taking that just because I don't like the way this car next to me is parked, and they're going to ding up my car and run away. And then I either got to wait for the plod for several hours to file a report, or I just sit on the costs. So I'll probably repark actually. I'll be back once I've done that, I guess. Yeah, I'll be back once I've done that. See you in a moment. Well, for you it'll be just a second, for me it'll be several minutes magic.